Hello everybody, my name is Eli Hollingsworth, and as always, welcome back to Against the Current, The Chosen YouTube channel, where today we're going to be looking at a scene from The Chosen Season 3, Episode 6, Intensity, Intense City. And as I've said in my previous video, there are a lot of intense moments in this episode, and this is kind of sort of one of those moments where there's a bit of tension building here. There's just a lot of interesting layers to the scene that we're about to look at. It's the scene where Jesus talks with John's disciples who are questioning Jesus about whether or not he is the Messiah or they should look for someone else. And before we begin, let's roll that intro. Alright, so right before we watch this clip, please make sure to subscribe to Against the Current, The Chosen YouTube channel, and click that notification bell to stay notified whenever I come out with a new Chosen video, because I'm going to be coming out with lots of content about The Chosen Season 3 over the next few weeks, and you're going to want to stay up to date. And also be sure to check out my review of The Chosen Season 3 Episode 6 and all previous episodes of Season 3 by listening to my podcast. The link is down below in the description. But with that said, let's go ahead and start this clip.
Yes. What do we have here?
These are two of your cousin's disciples, Avner and Nadab.
Jesus of Nazareth?
That name I respond to readily, though I'll not be returning to Nazareth in this lifetime.
The baptizer has an urgent question for you.
So I thought this was an interesting way to do this passage, and I love this scene for a number of reasons, but mostly because
Good memory.
we just have all these layers in this scene. Like, the scene itself in the gospel is super cool in the sense that just what Jesus says here. But in this scene, what The Chosen does so well, and is perfectly on display here in the way that it adds all these, context to what's being said here. So everything Jesus is saying here is not only speaking to John's disciples and basically John the Baptist himself, but it's also speaking to the Pharisee that's in the crowd and the Roman the zealots that are with Simon the Zealot. I love how Jairus and Shmuel are there also. So there's so many different groups of people here that are experiencing this, and Jesus is speaking to all of them at the same time. It just kind of adds a lot of cool context to what Jesus was saying in these scriptures. I love these shots. These are some beautiful shots. Super cool. I just love this scene so much.
Some of you may also know that John is currently imprisoned by Herod in Machaerus. I think it would be instructive for us to hear what's on his mind in the midst of such challenge.
It's a difficult question. It might be.
I love how, Jesus knows what they're going to ask, and he's just urging them to ask him so then he can answer it and give the speech for everyone. And I believe this is the line.
He
Right here.
sent us to ask you if you are really the one who is to come. Or should we look for someone else?
Yep, that line was in the trailer for Season 3. I just remember seeing that and thinking that was pretty
Say
cool.
that last part again.
Should we look for someone else?
For those of you who could not hear, John the Baptizer, my cousin, who has prepared the way for me, is now questioning if I'm the Messiah, or if maybe we should keep waiting. John is getting impatient, yes?
Yeah, and it just adds a lot of interesting thought to this part in the Bible where
been
John the
in prison
Baptist
a long
himself
time.
is even
Word
questioning
reached our ears about what happened in Nazareth.
whether or not Jesus is
You said
the
the Spirit
Messiah.
of the Lord is upon you to proclaim liberty to the captives.
If you say you are here to free prisoners, then why does he remain? He rightfully wonders why you would allow his entire ministry to be halted by an impostor king.
Proclaiming liberty to the captives can mean more than just freeing inmates. There are many kinds of captivity that keep people.
Is that what we're supposed to tell him?
No, that's just for you.
We heard our former comrades Andrew and Philip have gone to the Decapolis. Is that where you're planning to launch the revolution?
And I love this
to
little
overthrow
reference to
Rome?
the feeding of 5,000 here. Ready? Right here. Alright, I guess it's
I
right.
have something in mind for the Decapolis. And it will be revolutionary, but probably not in the way you're thinking.
What are
Yep.
we
I
supposed
love the
to
reference to the
report
Vegan
back?
5000 because that's coming very soon, and I'm very excited for that to be on the big screen. I love that Yusuf says you're careful because there's just so much of relying on what Jesus says here.
Go and tell John what you hear and see.
I love this monologue here.
The blind receive their sight. The lame walk. The lepers are cleansed. The mute speak.
The music, so
And the
good.
poor have the good news preached to them. Blessed is the one who is not offended by me.
I will always be offended by blasphemy. As should all of you!
So what happened to his daughter? You know this isn't blasphemy.
I did not see.
And there's that little guitar riff there. Same riff that we hear in season 3, episode 3, when Jesus is getting taken out of the temple.
And they also don't know any of the
I love that
details
electric guitar,
happened.
just kind of
He
there.
is hiding something. And I cannot stand here and allow you all to be deceived
Oh, it has
by his
such a
sorcery.
cool vibe to it.
Even if I'm the only one willing to
I love that thing.
protect you.
There it is. That's so cool.
Relate to my cousin.
It's such a
who
like
has seen
striking
her
musical theme.
And add to that the dead are raised as well.
Like the Chosen doesn't usually have a lot of swelling instrumental themes. It's mostly just like the intensity is translated through how intense the woman is usually singing, because it's very
Did my
vocal
response to the baptizer's
score. But
disciples sound
that
to any
guitar
of
riff
you
is just
like
so
a rebuke?
striking.
Yes.
I can always count on you, Nathaniel.
Ugh. The season just looks so beautiful.
Many of you
It
were
looks so
baptized
beautiful.
by
The
John. I myself
cinematography is so
was
awesome.
baptized
It just
by
looks amazing.
him. You heard how strong he was, how passionately he believed. And yet now, even he has questions. When you went to the wilderness to see him, did you expect to see a reed shaken by the wind? Someone in fine clothing, like those in king's courts? Or did you go to see a prophet? A prophet, yes. And I tell you, John is who Isaiah and Malachi spoke of. What did they say, Big James?
Behold, I send my messenger before you, who will prepare the way before you.
Yes, and this should tell you something. Among those born of women, none is greater than John. And even he has questions.
Another demon-possessed blasphemer. And you call him great.
I just love this
He called
idea
your
of it's
religious
okay
leaders,
to
"You
have
and my God,
questions.
vipers!
Very complicated idea. I guess not too complicated. It's not like, but it's a
going
very
to say
complex
something?
idea. It's a very interesting idea to
I
explore.
think his silence is his response.
And I love that too.
And here's what's so wonderful, though. None are greater than John here on earth. In the kingdom of God, the one who is the least is even greater than he.
I love this zealot.
And John himself would say the
too.
same.
The zealot party is also watching.
Please, listen carefully. Do not waste the time right now to hear the truth that I have for you. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Yet so many in this generation are missing it.
Yeah, I mean, I love how the writers just tackle
not miss it.
wholeheartedly these super complicated ideas. Some that I've
Those of you
it
who
takes
have
me like
rejected John's message
20
of
minutes to
repentance,
just think about.
and
They
those
just
who are now
tackle them
rejecting
and they like
mine,
explore them here in these like just.
You remind
There's
me of
other
the children
examples
in the
other in the
marketplace
show, but
play
specifically
games
this is
while
one of
the
those
adults are
complicated
busy.
ideas that they just
And you know
tackle
how they pretend
wholeheartedly.
to
It's
be
amazing.
adults in a wedding or even a funeral. You are like the children who refuse to play. Whether it's a happy game or a sad game.
Just
it
honestly,
doesn't
just
matter
yeah.
what
Every
it
time I
is.
watch the show, just
And like
Ryan,
Aesop
Tyler,
said,
Dallas,
the
just
others
like
say
seriously
we
some of the
played the
most
flute for
talented
you and you
writers
did not
I've
sing.
ever seen.
We
The
sang
show
a
is some of the
dirge, and you
greatest
did not
writing
weep.
ever.
You and those in your order say John has a demon because he lived in the wilderness, preaching repentance while refusing bread
They
and
just have such a
drink.
beautiful and yet like
Now the Son
icon.
of
It's kind of
Man
icon.
comes,
Like it's
preaching
there's a very
salvation
certain flair
while
to it.
eating
It's a
and
very
drinking
beautiful
and
way of
dancing.
being able to articulate things.
And I'm called the
It's a super
glutton
awesome way,
and the
a
drunkard,
creative way every time.
a friend of tax collectors and sinners. It doesn't matter what is put in front of you.
Yeah, but as the scene gets more
You will
intimate,
reject
we're
it.
getting closer and closer to whoever Jesus is talking to with the camera here.
Beware of this. Wisdom means nothing
Just a little
if
subconscious
it's not
thing. Yeah, we're
acted
getting
on.
closer and closer.
Wisdom
just a
is
little
justified by
cinematography
all
now.
her works.
And the music. Ooh.
As you see what is happening to those around you, as you see the lives being changed
he looks and
by
talks
repentance
right at the
and
zealots.
salvation, do not ignore the evidence of the kingdom of God. Woe to you if you do not receive it.
Pardon, no, I would like to remind everyone that Quintus has imposed a limit of 25 people for all outdoor gatherings in the latter part of the day. By my estimate, we will very soon be at risk of detainment.
That man is right. All of you, return to your homes and shelters immediately.
And I love Gaius' full transformation here. His character is
I said
completely
immediately.
Let's return to our
changed from where he was
It's
in
all
the
right.
beginning of season 1.
I will report all of this. You are deceiving.
To the point where, yeah, Gaius is just is helping Jesus here. So not, and he was standing there. Gaius was standing. I forgot to mention him. He was also standing there listening the whole time. Such a great scene. And yeah, Barnaby, which is in the scene that we looked at earlier. So there you have it. There's that scene from The Chosen Season 3, Episode 6. Intensity, Intense City. And that was a little bit of an intense scene, but not as intense as some of the other scenes in this episode. But that's all the episodes that I'm going to kind of react to this week. And if you want to see more videos like this, then be sure to subscribe again and turn on that notification bell. And if you like this video, then make sure to like this video and comment down below. What did you think of The Chosen Season 3, Episode 6? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Somewhere in between. Let me know all of that down below in the comments. And you're going to want to stay updated because I got a lot more content coming out over the next few weeks. And I know that we are all extremely excited to see Episodes 7 and 8, the epic conclusion to The Chosen Season 3, coming soon to theaters and to the Chosen app. These are very exciting times for the Chosen community, and I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye.
I was one way when you found me.